9:21 a.m. It says I'm live. I don't know if I am. I hope this reaches this video. I hope it reaches baby boomers. I hope baby boomers are going to be able to relate. I think baby boomers are going to be able to relate, but I really hope that this video touches and really goes deep into the millennials, because the millennials, in my opinion, they have no idea. They have no idea what treasures existed before social media. And social media has its place, and I realize that YouTube is a form of social media. I do realize that. And I do believe that social media has its place. But I believe that also social media can be, and it is, very addictive. So I have a question for all the people that were born before 1980. If you were born in 1978 or 1972, 1965, baby boomers born between 46 and 64, what do you miss that was something that we had, that we used to do as a society before social media took off? Now, I'm really talking about something that we did in our relationships. I have a timer on my phone, and you guessed it. If you thought, oh, she's going to do another meditation, yes. It's going to be a very short one because it is Sunday. And what I miss is talking, because I asked a friend of mine, he's about 68, 69 years old. We've known each other almost 20 years. We met in 2004 at work, back in 2004. And we lost contact, but we found each other through somebody else. I was able to call them last September. And I just asked him, how do you talk to people? What do you say? He goes, I just ask them, how do you prefer to be talked to? How do you prefer to be contacted? Text, phone call? And he said, most of them, 9 out of 10, say, I prefer to be texted. And that's very impersonal. And I think it's sad that we live in a society where we feel we do not have time to just pull up our phone, okay, and use a keypad and dial someone's phone number, because we feel we do not have time, because we don't value talking. We value this. And I see millennials doing this with their thumbs. They're so fast, and I'm doing this with my finger because I'm not fast. I'm very slow. There's a problem when someone like me, that had her first smartphone in 2016. I had a flip phone until 2016. And everybody was texting me, and I had to do AAA, BBB, or I had to do, 222. You see the little letters? So if I wanted to say no, I had to find the N. Where's the N? Okay, N is 6. So I had to do 66 and then O. So I had to do 66 for N and then 666 for O. No. And I had to do that all the time on my flip phone. And since I got a smartphone in 2016, I got rapidly addicted to Facebook, because I was able to put the app on my phone. And it's sad because I think we tell ourselves we're so busy. I got to get the kids. I got to go to soccer practice. Yes, this is pre-COVID. Yes. I got to go to the store. I got to get my kids. I got to go to work. I got to go here. I got to run the errands. I got to pick up my kids. I got to make the dinner. I got to do this. We tell ourselves we are so busy and we fill up our lives with so much stuff to do that we don't even know ourselves anymore. And how can we possibly ever get to know anybody else, let alone trust anybody else and feel vulnerable in front of anybody else if we are too busy in our own lives, in our own little world, in our own little family? I got to get mine. I got to get mine. Me. If we don't even know who we are, if we don't know where we are, if you don't know what you value, then you're just going to be spinning around and around. And I value human voices and talking on the phone. And I'm not talking about an hour conversation. I'm talking about calling a friend and say, how are you doing? I haven't heard from you in a month. And having a 20-minute conversation instead of just texting them. I know two people that I talk to on a regular basis. Now, one friend will call me probably once every 2 weeks, once a week. Sometimes we'll talk. Sometimes we'll talk every 2 or 3 days. But what I've noticed is it's better if I talk to him once every week or two. And I've known him for almost 20 years. And I just tell him, this is the best time to call me. And I can't call you because, of my value. I have certain values. And if I call him at 7 or 8 o'clock, he's in bed and he's falling asleep. So I don't call him at 7 or 8 o'clock at night because he's in bed relaxing after a long day at work and he starts to fall asleep. So I don't call him at that time. And I have another friend, and she likes to text. She knows I like to talk. She knows I like to call people. But I don't have an hour a day to talk to people. I don't have that time. But I have 15 minutes. I can do that. And my one friend, she'll call me like maybe once every 6 weeks, once every 8 weeks. And it just depends. Sometimes we'll talk for half an hour. Sometimes we'll talk for an hour. And I miss that. That's what I miss. I miss the human connection. My soul is starving for this past that I had. And I'm hoping that this virus transforms our humanity around the globe to go a little bit away from texting and to go more toward connecting to people in our own community, make new friends. Why is it that I'm constantly getting new Facebook friends, people that don't even know me? And they think they can get to know me on Facebook. They think they can, but Facebook has really just become a platform for me and everybody else to say, what are you doing? I fear that I'm missing out on something. If somebody really wants to get to know me, call me. Knock on my door. Ask me how I'm doing. Really get to know me. And that happened in the 80s and that happened in the 1990s. Happened a little bit in the early 2000s. But once the iPhone came out, it changed everything. And then Android followed. So I'm going to, and it's going to be a very short meditation. I'm sorry, but it has to be. I'm going to do a 5-minute meditation. That's how long it's going to be. And I want you to go somewhere in your memory, especially if you're over the age of 40, you're going to remember what it was like in the 1980s or even the early 1990s. You're going to remember what it was like before 2007 and before the iPhone. 5 minutes. That's what I got on my phone. Get yourself comfortable and find a place in your memory where you connected with somebody before social media came out and you used to call people, used to call your aunt, your uncle, your best friend, and you talked on the phone. You had a really nice heart to heart and you were vulnerable with them. Then it made you feel connected. I want you to go there. I want you to focus on your heart center. And just feel your breath. And picture in your mind this person that you used to call on the phone. This person that maybe you called them once a month. Maybe you called them once a day. Maybe this was a friend of yours in high school in the 1970s or in the 1980s or even the 1990s and used to call them on the phone every single day. And you would talk on the phone, not text. I'm talking about pre-social media, pre-iPhone. And I want you to tap into that feeling of feeling vulnerable and opening yourself up to trust. And I want you to picture that friend that you had. Maybe that friend is your spouse now. And see that trust evolving over time into a beautiful, deep friendship. And the trust is there. I want you to see yourself trusting yourself, liking who you are, but also asking yourself, who am I? And where am I? Picture your heart, a big white center, just white energy of love. Get to know yourself. Fall in love with this pure love energy inside of you. When you're done with this meditation, I want you to go look in the mirror and say, I love you. I'm so proud of you. I'm willing to be vulnerable with you, and I'm willing to get to know who you are. I'm willing to spend the time with you in the mirror to know who you are, to develop a deeper relationship with you. I want you to feel that rewarding feeling that you have. You're thinking, I was vulnerable. I was vulnerable with myself. I trusted myself. I love myself, but also I was vulnerable with this other person. And in tune, they became vulnerable with me. And it's such a rewarding relationship. We're so close. We call each other. And I want you to feel that energy coming to you in the form of other new people coming to you, not through social media. They're not coming to you through social media. When you're ready, you can open your eyes, wiggle your toes, wiggle your hands. I told you it was going to be a very fast meditation because it's Sunday and I have to be somewhere on Facebook at 9:30. And I hope you can remember a time before 2007, before the iPhone came out, and you connected to people on a more human level where we actually opened our mouth and we talked and we were not afraid to be vulnerable with other people. This is a time to go within, to find out who we are, and to be vulnerable with ourselves and love ourselves and accept ourselves so that we will be able to be vulnerable with other people and open ourselves to that so we have deeper relationships instead of being robots that don't talk and all we do is text. Namaste.